Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And our card tonight is the Sun. Okay. So we're going to have a bit of illumination this reading, hopefully. That solar card, usually I'm like, okay, this is going to be cool. This is going to be good. But I'll be honest with you. Sometimes it's like, okay, I don't need to know this. This is not the thing that I was hoping to find out about. But I have a good feeling about this reading, so we'll see what's going on. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. So, what are we seeing here? The first thing I'm seeing, okay, is really this dog. You can see the body here. You can see the head, the eye right here, the mouth. Look at that thing. Just looks like it is angry, rabid. We have, I'm trying to see, what are you biting at? It looks like a person kind of falling, if you've ever seen the hellmouth motif, this is kind of a medieval motif of, it's like an animal head, a demon head, its mouth is wide open, and there are people entering it, usually a long line of people, and it represents the descent, right, into that place that we, people just don't want to go when they pass away. And the torment and the anguish and the pain and all of that. And so I'm looking at this and it seems like TT heard me start doing my reading here. We also have a 6 right here. So there's a 6. But we have a person here. You can see the little feet, the body, the arms are out. Kind of looks like it falling in, right? Now we have another person who's sitting over here. And a bird in between. And it is like a lake bird, a swamp bird. Something like a crane. I always stop because I'm like, is it egret or egret? A stork, or one of these birds that are tall and they kind of stand there very zen like. When I see these in the tea leaves, I think, okay, so this is a time of contemplation. So now we have a person kind of falling in, we have a person sitting, we have the bird in between. So I feel like you are in a place where you are really overthinking some things. And I say overthinking because I feel like you are plunging into the depths if you don't catch yourself. I feel like something has come to light. Maybe some, old information. Maybe you've noticed something that just seems out of place. It's like somebody's story doesn't seem, that doesn't really, make sense to me. Maybe their behavior's a little different. They're doing things that they don't usually do, or, whatever it is. When something's up. Now, you might not know exactly what it is, but you do know. We're Capricorns, right? And I am a ascendant Capricorn. So I feel like I definitely dwell in the Capricorn zone. And we notice. We notice everything. You move something just a little bit and I will know. You've been here, you've been touching my stuff, you've been in my kitchen, moving my things around, you know, whatever it is. I know. And so, you know, I'm looking at this and I feel like, yeah, something has shifted a little bit. And you are in it. You're in this mind space. You're going over it. You're going over it. You're going over it. And trying not to spiral. Trying not to worry. Trying not to let this thing get the best of you. You don't want to go tumbling down, you know, into this abyss. No. You know, so I do feel like you're doing everything to kind of keep yourself together. Now, the part that gets pretty, can be pretty difficult is figuring out how are you going to communicate without, you know, losing your temper or getting upset or coming off as, I don't know, being kind of paranoid or pushy or nosy or, you know, not giving enough private space. And I think you are. You're worried about all of these things. You are very conscious of allowing people their room in their own life. You know, today I was watching and I'm so bad with names. I wish I could remember her name because this woman is an absolute goddess. She makes videos about living in northern. Now I'm thinking, is it the Netherlands? I think it is. And anyway, she lives, you know, kind of towards the Arctic Circle. And I'm always like, is it the Antarctic Circle? No, not in the South. Anyways, she was talking about how Swedes really value personal space and privacy. And she went into it a little bit, and I thought, you know what, this makes my heart sing. I absolutely have always been the type of person that fully, you know, I don't care if you've been married for 30 years. I don't care if you're passionately in love, it's new, you want to know everything about each other, whatever it is. I don't care if you're a mom, I don't care if you're a dad, I don't care if you're a child or, you know, whatever. Unless it is very specific circumstances, everybody deserves their privacy. Everybody needs space to be a conscious being without having the worry of intrusion or to be witnessed by somebody else. And I know Capricorn people, you know, you, I, and all of our kin, we value this privacy as well. So I do believe that you consider how will I affect other people around me? Now I want the information because I have this thing going on in my mind and it feels like it's getting bigger, and it's like a cluster of, you know, tentacles, right? Just, and it's growing, and it's like that feeling of cosmic horror kind of entering your life. It just is absolutely, I want to know what is I know something is not right. Something is out of place. Something is just, I don't know. I can't figure it out. But I also don't want to go digging and prying and forcing. So, you know, I feel that this is one of the few faults of Capricorn is figuring out how to communicate without being too like overly pushy. It's not even just to communicate, right? But to use a little nuance with it, finesse the situation a little bit, right? Come at it in a way that is clear, but it's not a accusatory maybe, or it's not like I demand you tell me what this is. No. That doesn't work. Nobody wants to be cornered, right? Nobody wants to be forced to tell you something. So I think this is something to think about. Figure out what it is that you want to say. What do you actually want to know? What is the real question at the core of this thing? And then from that, kind of building a plan of how are we going to talk about this? How am I going to approach this? Okay. And I think that's important. And I think that it's something that gives you a sense of power in the situation, not overpowering, but power for yourself, right? To get ready to go into this thing and know that, hey, this might be difficult. It might be nothing, but it might be difficult as well. Okay. You can't tell really. So, practice, fortify self, temper yourself, bring it down a notch when you feel yourself getting into those places of, frustration, getting angry, it's rising, trying to be flexible, right? Not getting to a place where it's so rigid and you're just going to snap, right? So these things are really important for us Capricorns. We have to remember, not everybody's on the same, we don't come into a situation, we forget that not everybody's in the same like mental place. They're not feeling the same things we're feeling. The energy maybe is completely different. And so we have to kind of ease into, okay? Now let's see, we have a big crown. You can see here. And we have, it looks like a person here. You can see kind of a round head, maybe like a little goatee. We have the nose, the eyes. I almost wonder kind of like some sideburns or something. Now we also have fish above. So I almost wonder if this is, it feels like it could be maybe like I'm thinking brother for some reason, like a brother. Now I think that they do well. They have resources. With that fish right above their head, yeah, they maybe have some money. They're doing okay. They're doing well. It kind of almost looks like they have a chef's hat on. Maybe they work in the food industry, restaurant industry, something like this. Maybe they're just really creative. They're like a chef in their own life. But I do feel like this person, although you love them and care about them and they love you and care about you, I feel like this is like your ultimate, the person that you are always, always, always in competition with, since you were kids, okay? I think you're probably pretty close in age. You grew up together. And I feel like as you've gotten older, you've grown out of this need to like, have this kind of banter where it's like you're kind of cutting on each other, talking a little SH to each other, getting each other gassed up, and usually I think when you were a younger person, this motivated you because you wanted to win. You wanted to win and you wanted to prove them wrong. Well, now I think that you both have had pretty good lives. You've done pretty well for yourself. They have done pretty well for themselves. There's still this competitive nature though. I think that you've fallen away from it more than they have. I feel like there is a sense of softening in your life because of things that you've been through. I feel like you have come into this like sentimental place in your path, in your journey. And And I think that, you know, you've turned into kind of a real sweetheart. Where, you know, I think in the past, maybe it's not that you were cold, but I think you just kind of, you dealt with people on the, you know, within the things that you needed to, you got it done, and then you kind of went on about your day, right? You weren't really too, I don't feel like you would linger too long with anybody. Even the people that you liked quite a bit. I feel like it's just kind of your natural instinct to kind of have the interaction, you know, show some interest, listen, say your piece, and then get out of there. But as you've gotten older, I think that you, maybe because you've had a family or you've been in a relationship that's committed, or, you know, maybe you have animals that, you know, when you live with animals, especially when you're like a single person, right? And you're living in a house and you have a dog, you have some cats, you know, some other animal, I don't know, like a ferret or something. That's what I want, a ferret, so I'm manifesting that. And you spend a lot of time with them. I feel like it just, there's no way that you can't become a little more soft in that kind of love. It's just so unconditional. And even if they are just the most ornery little thing, you know, it does. You get a connection with them. That's your buddy. That's like your, you know, your companion. And so maybe that's the case, or maybe it's all of these things. I don't know. But I do feel like where you maybe felt like you had this sense of power and pride, mostly through the work that you've done, right? Let's face it, Capricorn really is invested in career, work, making money, building a life that feels, you know, like sustainable, solid, you know, maybe a little bit showy, but not too much, right? I think usually it's about, you know, being realistic and you know, investing in quality over quantity and so on. So, you know, I feel like in this time you have relinquished some of this need to obtain, to meet these kind of material goals. And I feel that there's just a sense of wanting to enjoy the people that you're with, enjoy your life, take some time to slow down and kind of notice what's around you. You know, really all of the work that you've done has been for something, right? And there's many reasons why we work hard, why we try to, you know, be successful in one way or another. But, you know, so often we get stuck in a cycle where, yeah, we work, and we have this far off plan of, yeah, and then one day I'm going to be able to just stop working and I'm going to enjoy all this stuff that I have put together in my life, right? And often that day never comes for one reason or another. And I think that you are starting to really notice that life is getting away from you, like it is for each of us. And I can see that, yeah, I want to experience the things that have seemed important to me, that I have been, you know, really on this path of fortifying and building and creating a life that I want. And yet, you know, you haven't spent this. It's like if you bought a house and you got a pool, right? And you never used it. You know, you keep it pristine, you clean it, you take care of it. That's meditative. Or maybe somebody comes and does it for you, right? You hire somebody to do it. You look at it, you stand in the kitchen, you look out the back window, you think, oh, this is, heaven. You never get in the dang pool. You never get in the pool. Once a year, maybe, I was going to say 4th of July. Now, we have people all over the world. So whatever day during those hot months that, it's for celebrating, wherever you are, that day, that one day a year, you get in the pool and, and then you have to run off and go cook the hamburgers or whatever. So then that's over. And then it sits there for another year. Well, heck with that. We're not going to live like that anymore. We're going to wear that fancy perfume. We're going to wear those, special Sunday clothes. I'm going to use the dang china that sits at the top shelf and collects all the dust, right? I'm going to use it every day if I feel like it. It's beautiful and I want to look at it and I want to, whatever. And I think that it's just a turning point for you. It's a point where it's like, why would I squander all that I have done? Why would I squander the blessings that I have received? I want to swim in all of this. I want to know it inside and out, right? I don't want to just covet it, like some beautiful thing that I keep tucked away and I only bring it out when nobody's around, it's just a hidden little thing in my life and half the time I forget it's even there, right? No, we're done with that. That's not the energy for this cycle. And so we have the crown. Okay, so I do feel, and we also have a person who is sitting in, it looks like a throne. It also looks kind of like a movie theater chair, which looks awesome. I was just reading that they re-released Alien, the original Alien from, I think, 76, in the theaters recently. I don't know, maybe this week, but it's an anniversary and I think it was like the 45th anniversary. I could not believe that. But anyways, and I'm excited. I want to go see it, but who knows with my daughter. She might not allow it. But yes, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking maybe this is a sign for me. Get the babysitter and go to the movie. Do it. Just do it. So anyways, we have the person up here in the throne. We'll talk about it as a throne. And I just feel like it's like you finding power in other parts of your existence, right? Where usually I think you derive a lot of kind of meaning and self-confidence, and you can, when you are working on anything, if even within your career overall, you have kind of an idea of how you're doing because you can look at how things are going. There are a lot of different what's it called, things that you can measure to tell you, you're steadily making more money, you're getting raises, you are whatever, you are sought after, and so on and so on. But in other parts of our lives, it's much more ambiguous, isn't it? So I feel like in this turning of kind of meaning, it's a shift. It's like a paradigm shift, right? And what is so meaningful to you? This is uncharted territory in a lot of ways. There are no definites, and that is hard for a Capricorn. But I feel like This is the most necessary self-evolution. You are building up other parts of yourself, places that maybe feel like, it's just not as developed. You don't know it as well. It feels maybe even kind of foreign to you. So this is an exciting time. It's also, it might be a little off-putting, but I do feel like there is so much of this solar energy that it's like, how could you not follow, right? The path is lit for you. And I feel like you really are choosing to know yourself more deeply, to allow yourself to kind of grow in all these different directions. If you could think of like a beautiful plant, and it has all of its, shoots, and the tendrils are coming out, and it's grabbing onto things in all directions to pull itself up, to grow higher and higher towards that sun. This is absolutely the vibe I get. And this is what makes you so magnificent, is that you are willing to go out of these zones of comfort and work on other parts of being. And, I don't know how old you are, but I know the older we get, the more we kind of find our little, we get into these little places of comfort. And change seems like, okay, well, maybe we'll wait till next week, right? Maybe we'll, maybe when everything kind of aligns the right way, then we'll start. Well, it is aligned. It is aligned, and here it is. And so let's take a look. We also have a 2 and an 8. We have 28. And, okay, we have a cardinal right here. So, that tells me that there's somebody coming, somebody who has transitioned, somebody you love, visiting you. You maybe will see a cardinal in real life, maybe in your yard, or on your way to work, or whatever it is. But you will know that this is them. They're coming to let you know that they are there with you, that they love you, they're thinking of you, and you are beloved to them. Now, we also have, it looks like a J and a P, although the P is backwards. So J and P, so maybe that is a name, initials possibly. I don't know. You let me know if that is something that resonates and you want to share. Okay, let's see. So it says he, H-E, he. And it looks like maybe a Taurus person. I feel like it's, I don't know what it is. There's just I feel like it's like there's an anxiety. Something doesn't feel right, but I also feel like at the same time, it's like you've been dislodged from your norm, right? I feel like it's like, that things won't be the same. And you're ready to be working on these other things for yourself. Whatever is going on with this person that we first talked about, where you're trying to communicate, you're trying to figure out, how are we going to communicate about this? Should I even bring it up? Is this just in my head? I don't know. But there's a profound feeling there. And I think that this is something that has come up because it's something that needs to be worked out. Now, if it's actually something that has changed with them and you, if it is something that you are perceiving that's happening and they don't really notice, what you're talking about, if this is just a call to you figuring out how can you talk to somebody that you love and care about. What needs to happen to open you up so that you can just say how you feel, or say, I'm worried about this, or, hey, I noticed this thing and I don't know if it's, you know, I don't know if it's just me or is there something going on here, you know, whatever, however, you know, you approach it, this might be kind of that catalyst to get the thing moving, to release this blockage, to begin to develop those communication skills in the private life, right? And so I think this is important. This is definitely an important time. I mean, it maybe, you know, seems overwhelming, but I think that this is a most necessary movement in your life. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the Wild Bohemian affirmation cards. And these are the fire element. And I'm going to go ahead and just flip through and stop where it feels right. Okay, we're going to flip it over. It says, I am infinite. It's more than okay to believe in miracles. It's more than okay to believe in miracles. Rely on joy as your foundation. Beautiful. Joy as a foundation. Sounds nice. I like how these match, kind of. Perfect. So, Capricorn, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you, because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. That's it. Yes. Oh, I try to shout out my husband's channel every reading. Sometimes it's always at the, you know, it's just like right at the end. But I absolutely, you know, cannot say enough. There's so many good things to say about Paul, my husband, over at Dove and Serpent Tarot, but not enough words in the world to kind of cover how amazing he is. So, you know, I am biased, I know, but I do believe he is the best tarot reader ever. So if you want to go and check him out, please do. I'm sure you have seen him before on the YouTubes. You probably even watch him and maybe have come over from his channel, or you're not aware that we're married. I know I see that a lot. People saying, I can't believe you're married. I watch both of you. And we appreciate you. We really do. So, okay. All right. I'm going to get going, and I love you, and we will talk in a few days. Good night. Good night. Good night.